And, you know, Reverend Al, Jonathan Lemire's point about trying to depress voters from voting for Joe Biden reminds me of a couple of things. First of all, it reminds me of the efforts the Trump campaign had in 2016 to do that. And also, the intelligence community told us later that the Russians were also sending out negative Hillary Clinton messages to black voters and other minorities. And of course, you heard the news last week from Politico that Donald Trump was celebrating the fact that black turnout was the lowest it had been in 20 years. And so I guess the question at hand, one of the most important questions in this election, considering that it was, after all, black women especially, but black women and black men, that after we had our two woke primaries, decided in South Carolina that they were going to be heard, and they supported Joe Biden. Joe Biden owes his nomination to black voters nationwide. The question is, are black voters going to turn out the way they did in 2008 and 2012, or is this going to be a repeat of 2016?
Black voters, in my opinion, are energized and mobilized. The question is, can we protect their vote so that when they turn out, their votes will be counted? And if there is the mail-in process, that will not in any way be hindered by tampering with postal services. If this is a fair election, I think you will clearly see overwhelming turnout from the black community, which is why people are rallying and galvanizing. The Trump strategy is clearly not to try and appeal to black voters or to deal with their interests, it's to suppress them. When you see this audio tape come out where he is actually celebrating a low black voter turnout in 16, saying it's good for me, well, anything that I have seen that has shown the energy of black voters went up over the weekend when people heard him say out of his own mouth what we always thought he felt. Out of his own mouth, he's celebrating they didn't vote, therefore it's a vote for me. It couldn't have been a better gift to the Biden campaign than for him to say to blacks that you're voting, you're not voting is a vote for me. Donald Trump said that. And he can come with all of what he wants about criminal justice reform and all. In this era of George Floyd, in the era of yesterday, a shooting in Wisconsin, him not to deal one time with policing and not deal with interests of blacks being disproportionately affected by COVID-19 and other issues in our community, his only way is to try and suppress our vote by messing with the post office and by suppressing us at the polls, purging voters, moving voting sites. And that is why we must rally and do all we can to stop that from happening.
Again, the president asked 4 years ago to black voters, what do you have to lose? What the hell do you have to lose? A lot of black voters would say 4 years later, a lot. And I will let them go down that list. But we all could, just looking at the news. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.